Hey everybody, how's it going? Josh here, and today we're going to talk about, will Biollante be the potential villain in Godzilla vs. Kong? Now this speculation comes from, I was doing some reading on different Godzilla monsters and Godzilla in general, and also the recent interview that the director of the film did, and it really brought me to this conclusion that it makes a lot of sense. More sense than I wish it made, honestly, because I was thinking it would be a really cool theory video, but instead it might be a really interesting speculatory video that may have more to it than I initially thought it would have when I first started writing it. Now in Godzilla, a regular theme was representing the dangers of things like nuclear energy, along with mankind's technology in general, which is why Godzilla's origins was initially so tied into nuclear energy, things like that, nuclear bombs. It made a lot of sense, especially considering Godzilla is a byproduct of Japan and Japan's unfortunate relationship with nuclear warheads and nuclear energy. And Godzilla and the MonsterVerse, along with the other titans, are, instead of being more so related to that, are more so seen as a natural part of Earth's ecosystem beyond even humanity's role in the world. They're kind of seen as these super predators, these guardians of the world, so to speak, these gods by some cultures even. And Michael Dowdery, director of Godzilla King of the Monsters, stated one of the monsters he would like to use for a potential Godzilla 3 would be Biollante. Now, Biollante is a result of creating a genetically engineered creature from the cells of Godzilla, a rose, and a person. And that person initially was the cells of the daughter of the scientist that made the creature. And this could be a really interesting and more likely next step for the franchise than in Mechagodzilla, considering that things like cloning, genetic engineering is a lot more relevant to the real world than making evil cyborg monsters at this current day and age. And there's actually another version of Biollante that features Ghidorah included in the whole Abomination mix, and it has more of a Ghidorah type of appearance, which I think would be really interesting because there's a rumor being floated around that after Godzilla beats Ghidorah in the film, Ghidorah's body parts after fighting Godzilla will be sold off in a way, kind of poached by others and taken for mysterious kind of reasons by people that are currently unnamed as of recording this video. And if that's the potential villain for Godzilla vs. Kong, and the villain is maybe Biollante, for example, as a result of maybe making a mutated version of combining various monsters, various creatures, I think that'd be interesting. And also a thing I was really looking for was, how are they going to tie in Kong into this mess? Because Kong is very easily removed from the rest of the world's kind of shenanigans with being on Skull Island, which in itself is kind of in the middle of nowhere in the Pacific. So the combination of potentially some of the more mutated like plant life in Skull Island combined with Ghidorah's remains and maybe other things that would result in a Biollante for the MonsterVerse, I think it would be a really interesting way and really simple way to unite both Kong and Godzilla's worlds. It would also be a way to explain why maybe Kong and Godzilla both have a investment in taking on this mystery creature, because otherwise there's literally no reason why Godzilla and Kong would either A, fight each other, or B, team up to fight another monster, because you would have to really find a reason for Kong to leave Skull Island, and no other reason would really make sense for Kong other than maybe something that originated from Skull Island is now wreaking havoc elsewhere, and Kong would feel some level of responsibility to taking on that creature, in the same way if maybe something resulting from Ghidorah's remains resulted in a new creature. I'm sure Godzilla would definitely feel some type of way about it. And all in all, this would be a really interesting thing as well, because you could use this as a way to also make Godzilla vs. Kong both a sequel to King of the Monsters and also a sequel to Skull Island. So something that was really important, I thought, was how they were going to connect the movie to King of the Monsters and Kong Skull Island. And we know there's carnivorous plant life on Skull Island, so the basis for making a carnivorous type of plant, and I mean that's definitely a lot more realistic than a rose, for example, but using that type of plant life that's on Skull Island, plus maybe some other mysterious plant life we don't know of on Skull Island, considering the different types of creatures on Skull Island, but basically my point is, it would be a really easy merger of both worlds, which I think would be interesting. But obviously at the same time, this is definitely a speculatory theory, so do not take it as a news article or a fact, please. I know some people see our editorials and think it's a news story. It's not all news stories. Really don't take it literally, please. But comment below your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think about this kind of thing? Do you think it would be a really interesting thing to add to the MonsterVerse, or would you rather stay away from this kind of thing in the future? But comment below, and we'll see you guys later.